It's a Chameleon plugin designed for one specific web services, the sub web services ICS My Location. And when REST API was come, we also use this component to perform some feature to activate or deactivate SIP nomadic feature. So, what was ICS My Location web services? These web services allow an application or server to manage location profile for a city user. This profile allows a user to define which device he or she used depending on the context, which device ring when the user is called, or which device is used for outgoing action, such as making a call. This web services was used by MyIC client. So I think now no clients use these web services. So we manage profile for My Location web services. We have defined 4 profile: business on mobile, home on mobile, other on mobile, and personal computer on mobile. What is mean business on mobile profile? We want to ring the main device. In this case, it's generally a smartphone, and if a remote extension has been defined, this one will also ring. So we use this profile when you are at the office. If you are at home, for example, for home working, you can activate home on mobile profile. So in this case, your main device at your office is frozen, and the call are redirected to your home device. And if your remote extension is activated, this one will also ring. Other on mobile, it's another use case. For example, if you are in a business trip, you can activate this profile to link your main device to the device of your hotel, for example. So in this case, your main device is frozen, and when somebody called you, this is the hotel device which is ring. If a remote extension is available, this one will be also ring. Personal computer on mobile. In this case, there is 2 types of activation of this profile. If your main device is not a smartphone but a SIP extension, you will have this default profile, and you cannot switch to other one. If you have a smartphone on the SIP nomadic right, you can also activate this profile. So this one I will show you in detail how to activate and how this one works. I continue with the definition of the My Location web services. So we have some method to activate
А там докер поддерживается?
profile. Another method to
Давай сейчас
get the active profile, to see what is the current activated profile. You can also retrieve the default profile. So, for example, if you have a smartphone,
Я не знаю, что это такое.
the default profile is a business on mobile. If you have a SIP extension, your default profile will be computer on mobile. If you want to activate SIP nomadic profile, a personal computer profile, you should know what is your personal computer mode. So we have three possibilities. You can have the SIP mode when you have a main SIP device. You can also have SIP computer mode if you have SIP nomadic write, or none if you don't have nor SIP extension nor SIP nomadic write. Another method to get a profile to see what kind of device will ring or not, you can use the method get profile. You can also get all the profile to see what you can activate or not according to your right. And the last method is to retrieve a SIP nomadic number if you want to switch to personal computer mode in SIP nomadic mode. Associated to this method, we have two events: on my location profile activated and on my location profile modified. On my location profile activated, this is a notification each time a profile is activated. On my location profile modified, this notification comes each time a profile is modified. So now speak about the REST routing management API. It's a specific case to activate SIP nomadic feature. For all other REST routing management method, all the requests are redirected to Martin component. So Goose plugin is only used here to activate personal computer root for city user. This API is only for OTC clients. It's not a part of the public API. So it is not described in the public documentation. What are the resources involved to this feature? We have three REST resources. The first one, routing personal computer mode. You can get the current personal computer mode according to the right, but also according to the device of the user. As I said before, three possibilities here: SIP or nomadic SIP or none. If you want to get a nomadic number to activate personal computer mode, you have to invoke this resource, post routing SIP nomadic number, and you will get a number from a pool. We will see in the next slide. With this number, you will activate SIP stack, and you can perform a register on Oxy server. After that, you will invoke the last resources post routing with the parameter SIP nomadic equal to true. So in this case, goose component will activate the nomadic mode on the SIP nomadic device number. We are here also two events: the on routing profile change and the on routing state change. Here, I want to show you the complete sequence. So, what are the components used for this feature? So, the client, OTC PC, Chameleon Web Services, and REST Web Services, the plugin Goose, the device management, OTS server, and Oxy server. So the first thing is to get the personal computer mode. This is what the client do. And this request is handled by Chameleon Web Services on Goose component. This one return SIP, nomadic SIP or none. If OTC PC client discovered that its computer mode is nomadic SIP, it tries to retrieve a SIP nomadic number. So for that, it invoke another resource on Chameleon Web Services. On this one, ask for Goose plugin to have a SIP nomadic number. This one is stored in a pool in Goose side. So on the configuration, we have to define a pool of SIP devices number. This pool is associated to one Oxy. So you have to manage pool for all the Oxy on your system. So Goose return one of three device number to the OTC client. This one can now perform a request to device management to get a SIP configuration file. From this configuration file, OTC PC client can retrieve information to perform a SIP registration on Oxy server. And if all is going right, the SIP stack is initialized on OTC PC client, so he can ask to perform a SIP nomadic login. So this activation is done through the web services on resource routing SIP nomadic equal to true. On this one, ask for Goose to activate personal computer mode. In this case, we invoke another a request to OTS server, nomadic login request for the user on the SIP number previously retrieved. On this one, on OTS, ask Oxy to activate the nomadic login. After that, client get an acknowledgement. So the activation of nomadic mode is running on OTS on Oxy side. If all the conditions are here, the nomad login will succeed. So we should have enough nomadic Z device. The numbers is also free. The device is in good state. So in this case, Oxy on OTS send an event named eNomad event, and this event is handled by Goose, and so this one generates a own routing state change, and this one is pushed to the OTC client. So in this case, SIP nomadic activation is successful. If something is going wrong during the registration, the pool will get back the number he has previously returned. This is a defense mechanism. So after 60 seconds, if there is no invocation to post routing SIP nomadic on equal to true, the SIP nomadic number return in the pool. Some question?
No.
No.
No? Okay. Now, just some words about the module interacting with the Goose plugin. So, first of all, Goose is a chameleon plugin. So the main class implement AXI chameleon plugin interface and also expose some mbeans. We will see in a demo after that what we can see in the mbeans. Another module, chameleon module used by Goose, it's a reference manager to retrieve other plugin, other stub, and other module inside the chameleon, the event bus, and the following classes: ISC internal driver, and ISC internal notifier, and ISC event handler to retrieve and to send event. The cache manager module to get information about the user, its right, for example. And also, we retrieve the SIP nomadic device pool from the cache manager. We have also some, we have also subscribed for cache event. So we want to know if user right change or if user have new device. And we also subscribe to add notification about SIP nomadic device. We use the OTS stub also to invoke method around nomadic activation deactivation. And we subscribe also to OTS event to get event about PCMM, nomadic, on CTI link up, on CTI link down. PCMM, it's still we still subscribe to this event, but the device is no more supported by OT, but the code is still there. So nomadic to retrieve nomadic state. Local mean that nomadic is not activated, and private that nomadic is activated. On the two other events, CTI link up and CTI link down, it's about the connection with the OTS. If OTS is restarted, for example, we get a CTI link down, and we try through OTS driver to reconnect, and so we will get a CTI link up. Okay, some question?
Yes, one question.
Yeah.
Is PCMM agent used in disk sharing configuration?
I think no.
Octave.
I think no. I think it's not possible to configure this type of device. It's not supported by OT.
Okay.
So some word about artifact. We have 4 artifacts, 3 for API and 1 for the main core. So it's a typical structure. You can retrieve this in RTSM or SQL component also. So an API common, an API event, API services. So API event for event, API services which define the interface, and the core, it's implementation. So these 4 artifacts can be delivered through Maven delivery delivered. Very simple. We have 3 branch on Mercurial, the default, on 2 other branch for patch, but it's a very old branch. So I think the only one interesting is the default. On the last derivation on this branch was 2.2, so very old delivery in OpenTouch 11. Some documentation I have retrieved on Docman. 2 interesting documents, so you can read them. The Mercurial repository, I think you have already. On the last activity, so some adaptation for character encoding when we switch to OpenJDK build platform. So the last delivery 6 months ago, and this component does not have CR since 1 year, but we have some recurring analysis to do on OpenTouch Alpha platform. The last one was because we have some trouble with the association between user and OTS. I don't know really what was the issue, but it's an issue coming from ICAPI or PMS or OTS. I don't know. So perhaps I will show you how to investigate some trouble on alpha, for example. So I will take G console to perform some a demo. So I'm connected to Chameleon through port 111111 on the OT1 platform. So I will open the mbin associated to goose here. Some information about here about event sent and event received, even about cache or OTS event, and event sent on about on my profile change or profile activated. Operation. I think the main important here is this one. So here you can see all OTS node defined on the platform. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 OTS nodes. For example, this node 28, it's a node associated to breast. And we can see that we have 5 free SIP numeric number here. You can see that we have some other free device for other node. But here for node 8, there is no more SIP numeric device. I think this node should be suppressed. Okay, at the bottom we can see here that some persons are using SIP nomadic feature. So retrieve the name, the login of the person here, on the SIP nomadic device associated to this user. Between parentheses here, it's a OTS node. And you can see also other information about date and time. So for M rouge here, this person requests for SIP device number at this time, and invoke 1 second after the activation of personal computer mode. So with that, you can see if all is going right or not. You see if you have still some device available for a node, or if something if there is no more device available. So perhaps you have to add some device in the configuration, on the SIP device pool configuration. Just a remark. when a user requests for a SIP nomadic number, we try to retrieve a SIP device number on the same node, on the same OTS node. But if there is no more SIP nomadic device on this node, we take a SIP nomadic device number in another node, and we take in the pool, in the Grazer pool. When I investigate on the OT platform the last issue, I have to check where is the OT user, in which OTS. So for that, I will show you how to check that. So first, I check what cache manager see. So I take an example with my colleague Daniel Galliou, which is CT user. My number, sorry. Okay, so it's Oxy, okay, user. So I can retrieve here its phone number, on which is its OTS node. Okay. So now I will open a PuTTY session on the Alpha platform. So I go to OTS folder. So for the port, okay. Yeah. I don't know if you know this tool, CSR maintenance. So from this one, you can check many things. So first thing I can do, it's a six menu, or to see what are the user handled by this OTS. Sorry, what's happened? Working or not? Okay, so 3 for dump all the user and handled by this OTS. So I should retrieve my colleague if all is going right. Yes, okay. Perhaps I can check other thing. For example, I go back to the GMX console to check how if nomadic mode is correctly activated for one of my users, already seen here. So I can check for M rouge, for example. So we have here another menu, 20. So you can retrieve all the nomadic device which are activated. So I should retrieve what is this number? Sorry. Uh, 433. Yeah, okay. So this is the corresponding entry for this user. So I can see that nomadic is activated. You can retrieve user number here on the SIP nomadic number used here. You retrieve also some other information about right here. So another way to check, perhaps you already know, you can activate some traces on TSR maintenance using this command 0 space P for put space -T soap to have the request coming from goose component, for example. To suppress the traces 0 space R to remove space on the -T soap. To activate nomadic traces, you can use the same way, 0 space P -T nomad, sorry, and you will get information about the nomad feature activation. So I remove okay, this is what I want to show you about troubleshooting. Perhaps one word about the log file. Okay, so you will retrieve the traces in this case in a chameleon log file here, but you can also define another appender in the fast.xml file to have a specific logging file. But for the moment, the traces will go in chameleon.log file. Perhaps just one word about the compilation. Okay, so it's very simple, nothing very difficult. Just install to compile, no property. What's happened? No, it's okay. No, we have an issue. What's happened? All the tests are wrong today. Why? Seems I have to debug here what happened. I have loaded this test yesterday in the evening and it worked. I don't know why I have an issue now. So I have to check before I send you the component. But as you can see, we have many tests here, more 600 tests. Perhaps just a configuration issue. I will check. Sorry for that.
Okay.
I finished for now. Perhaps you have some question?
No.
No? Okay. So I check why we have this issue and I will fix it. I will keep you informed about this by email.
Mhm.
Okay. So I finished for this component. So we have another session, I think, next week. I think yes, about authentication, about the web application on the authentication library. So have a good day, a good weekend, and see you next week.
Thank you, Michel.
Okay.
you.
Michelle, you too.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye.